Alright, how's it going? So this originally was just going to be me talking about one mineral, mammothite, but I decided I'm going to turn this into kind of a locality spotlight of the Rowley mine in Arizona. It's primarily famous for its wolfenite lead molybdate. As you can see, I have quite a few samples here. Lovely orange. And some mammothite there. But yeah, it's a very fun mine that has a very unique assemblage of minerals that we'll go into. It was a famous mine that produced copper, lead, gold, silver, molybdenum, and vanadium, as well as barite and fluorite. But it was primarily mined for the silver and the lead back in the day, as well as the barium. But it became very well popular as a collecting spot for these wolfenites. As you can see here, sitting on the barite. This one's sitting on quartz. The mammothite and all these other wolfenites are sitting on them as well. There's also some pyromorphite, micro in this one. And then, yeah, like I said, we'll get into the mammothite later, since that was the original purpose of this video. But, you know what? I like this little spotlight since it's one of my favorite localities. So, yeah, we'll dive into the microscope and let you see these bad boys a little better. You can see here, nice and close up to those larger wolfenite crystals. Really see their crystal structure. Reminder that wolfenite is lead molybdate, sitting on barite matrix, which is barium sulfate. Ignore the dust. Some tiny little mammothite grains in here, but we'll see better later. These perfect wolfenites are what the mine became famous for among the collector's world, as well as the science world like myself. Because you don't see wolfenite like this too often. Down to this piece here, you can see more of the wolfenite. Lovely specimens. And return here, you can really get into the mammothite here, which is a lead arsenate chloride. Orange crystals of it there. From very unique formations. See it intermatrixing with some tiny wolfenites here in some spots. Try to find one of those for you, because those are it's a cool little spot. Might be on the other specimen. Yeah, here it is. You can see those wolfenites sticking up amidst the mammothite. And then similarly, we have pyromorphite over here in the corner, which is the same stoichiometry as mammothite, but with phosphate instead of arsenate. Let me find one of those clusters. They're very tiny on this piece back here. Here we are, these yellowish green crystals here. Very fun. Like I said, very similar to the mammothite, but with phosphate instead of arsenate. Lovely little crystals here. And that'll do it for that spotlight. We'll get into the original video I intended with the mammothite next, and then we'll get into some organics after that, which that gets really interesting. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite minerals, mammothite. So this is this complex thing here: lead, copper, aluminum, antimony, chloride, sulfate, hydroxide, complicated mess. Anyways, this mineral was known for a long time in these slags from Greece, as you see here. But it was never actually considered a mineral because it was believed to be a man-made mineral, not necessarily in a lab, but just from these mining slags that accumulated all those elements. See all these lovely blue crystals of it, trying with some other weird lead carbonates and sulfates in there. These Greek slags have a lot of stuff, but we're looking at the blue today. But it was not officially declared a mineral until It was discovered naturally, as you can see in this specimen here, these kind of more greenish crystals of it, in Mammoth, Arizona, which is where it got the name mammothite. This is where it was first discovered naturally, so therefore it got the name. But analysis proved it was the same mineral. So pretty neat history behind it. This piece isn't actually from Mammoth though. This piece is from Rowley, Arizona, which isn't too far, but Rowley you might be more familiar with the wolfenite fame, but it can also produce these lovely mammothite crystals. It's a very rare mineral, quite fond of it. Like I said, one of my favorites. Got a few other specimens of it here from Rowley. See some right there. They're more green over in Rowley, which is weird. I don't know what the cause of the extra greenness of it is, but certainly neat. See a lovely little mammothite cluster there. Very cool. The bright blue here, some more mammothite, is a diaboleite. It's a lead copper chloride, occurring with a bunch of other lead minerals. Got a bunch of samples from Rowley. There's another nice crystal there. And so forth and so forth. I could keep showing these all day, but I think we'll cut it there. Yeah, you can see it intervening in the diaboleite there. So yeah, very cool. Very cool mineral. One of my faves. And that's gonna do her. Let's see this one really quick. On this piece, if I can find it. They're also very tiny. As you can see, by me being in my microscope. Where is it? Oh, there it is. No, that's not it. There it is. There's the nice mammothite. Absolutely spectacular. And then, as you can see here, got the lovely minerals we were talking about earlier. Wolfenite, mammothite, but there's some weird things going on this very tiny piece. So, at the 125-foot level of the old mine, bats kind of infested it, and if you don't know anything about bats, they're kind of messy. They poop and pee everywhere, and that can have natural chemical reactions with the rocks, forming these lovely minerals you see here. Extremely rare, only occur at the Rowley mine. If I can center it really quick. Sorry, this piece is very, very tiny. There we go. So, the black dots you're seeing is actual Rowleyite, which I have the equation for over here. Yeah, this complex mess. This is actually the first vanadium organic mineral to exist. And then the blue you're seeing is David Brownite, which is this complex mess you're seeing on screen. Those are primarily those blue. Some other things in there, like antimonite, which is another organic copper mineral. I believe that's all that's been detected on this piece. Maybe some reliancite, which is pretty similar to David Brownite. I don't believe thebaite was detected on this piece, which is unfortunate. But basically, yeah, this is formed from bat poo. It's pretty interesting. I always find it interesting. Those kind of greenish encrustments you're seeing is a foxite with a pH, not an F. But yeah, it's a very interesting piece for being so tiny. This piece cost me quite a bit, but it was worth it because these are some bucket list minerals I've always wanted to own ever since I got into mineralogy and learned about the Rowley mine, which is when I became obsessed with wolfenite, which you've been viewing my channel, you know is a favorite. But mammothite also became a favorite, as well as all these organic minerals. So yeah, you can see some of that nice antimonite in here. It's more of the bright blue, not needles, the crystals that aren't needles. Can't think of what to call them right now, but the David Brownite is the needles. Like I said, most of those little black spots are the Rowleyite. Wish I could zoom in more for you, but this piece is tiny enough. Oh, that did not do well. Yeah, there we go. Need a better zoom on my microscope, to be honest, to really see the crystal form of these guys, but very cool. Very cool. It's pretty amazing what kind of minerals bat poo will form. There's another famous locality in South America that forms not the same, but a similar assemblage of minerals down in Chile. I could do that one as another spotlight in the future if you want. I definitely will not mind. I love those minerals as well. If you actually watch my color wheel, I actually covered one of those minerals, chanabayaite. Very complicated one, too. A lot of these bat poo minerals are. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed hearing me rant about how cool the Rowley mine is and its mineral assemblage is. And have a nice day.